everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. This is Frank. With me is my partner in crime, Marty. And today, we're going to be reviewing Scream 6, which came out, 2 weeks ago now?
Was it 2 weeks?
I don't know.
Last Thursday?
When did, it came out the same time as 65, March 10th?
Oh, yeah, I guess that was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, we're maybe a little behind, but we've got busy lives. All right. We saw 65 opening weekend, didn't have time to see two movies on the same weekend. So we watched the last weekend, and now we're recording. All right, so we're going to go on a little spoiler-free bit here. Just give our general opinions of the movie, how we felt about it. Marty, you go ahead if you would like to start.
Well, assuming you've watched the first 5 Scream movies, this one picks up after the 5th one. And I like it better than the 5th one. And if I had to put it somewhere amongst all of the Scream movies, it's probably my 3rd favorite, maybe 4th. I actually like Scream 4. I think that's like my number 2 or 3. So for me, it's Scream 1, probably Scream 4, Scream 3, and then I'll put this one at number 4.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I think if we're talking about quality, I would say it's the best sequel. If we're talking about enjoyment, I think I just enjoyed the second one more.
Sequel of
Scream, obviously.
like the entirety of Scream, or sequel to the 5th movie?
The entirety of Scream.
You like this better than 3 and 4?
Well, I definitely like it more than 3 and 4. I think it's better than 2.
Yeah, it's definitely better than 2.
But 2 I have a nostalgic thing for. But yes, Ghostface, Scream, all that has been a part of my life for a long time. I was heavily traumatized walking into the living room while my mom was watching. I don't know if she was watching it or if it was just on the TV. But Scream 2 was on the TV. I went to go get my laundry. I saw Dewey get stabbed in Scream 2. Traumatized, had nightmares for 4 years straight. And then to face my fears, to conquer my fears, I watched all the Scream movies that were, around at that time. I forced myself to sit down and watch them. And I finally got over my fear of Scream because Shaggy was the killer.
Spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler for the first movie.
Yeah. For me, it's pretty much the exact opposite. I didn't watch any of the Scream movies until about a month ago. I started watching them, but I did watch Scary Movie 1. And I feel like that prepared me pretty well.
Yeah, I think that was a pretty funny movie.
That's probably my favorite spoof.
I think the irony of Scary Movie being based off of Scream is that Scream within itself is like a parody of horror movies, and then they just made a parody of a parody.
Yeah, it's very meta, but I personally like the whole meta thing they got going.
I mean, that's the whole shtick, is like the comedy element to it, the meta element to it. If it didn't, I mean, it's like, oh yeah, I like Friday the 13th, but I'm not a big fan of the hockey mask.
Right.
It's like, I like Nightmare on Elm Street. It's the dream thing is, I don't like the dream thing. It's like meta is the core of Scream. That's the whole point of it. Being self-aware that we're in a scary movie, kind of thing. And also trying to throw in twists. I think the first movie did a good job of throwing in a twist because they advertised it as Drew Barrymore being the lead, and then they killed her in the first 5 minutes. This one tried to do that with the poster. I'm not going to say who dies that's on the poster because that's a spoiler, and we'll get into that later. But yeah, overall opinion of it though, it's good. It's worth seeing in theaters if you're going to the theater or you're just a big horror movie buff. If you're not super into horror movies or you don't feel like going to the movie theater, it'll be on Paramount Plus at some point. It's worth a watch at some point.
You want to give it a rating?
Oh yeah, I'll give it 27 stabs to the chest.
All right, you kind of stole my thunder there.
Oh.
I was gonna say 7 screams out of 10 stabs.
I'll take that one too. Yeah. All right, we're going to go into the spoilers now. So if you don't want to know who the killers are, which is part of the fun of these movies, and if you heard that weird noise, that would be Marty drinking a shot of Jaeger out of a child's mouthwash dispenser.
Let's cut that part out.
Oh no, that's staying, buddy. That's staying.
Look, I gotta get loose for this,
Hey, I've got my Mountain Dew. What's that gas station? The Casey's specific Mountain Dew with a little bit of watermelon schnapps in there. Not getting drunk. All right, not getting drunk. Just letting the ease of the words,
A little loosey goosey.
Yeah, getting a little loosey goosey. Still sober minded, but it's easier to speak. because speaking in a microphone is really weird when you first start doing it. All right, into the spoilers. Movie opens up. Girl at a bar, little blonde. She's talking to somebody on the phone. We obviously know it's a killer, right? We're in New York. We're in this big new place, and she gets lured out to the alley. She gets murdered, and then he takes the mask off. Oh my gosh, the killer's been revealed already. At that point, I think everybody knew that, all right, this guy's gonna die. Like, he's gonna get killed by another killer. I mean, as soon as he took the mask off, I was like, he's dead. They're not gonna reveal the killer at the beginning of the movie. Mm-hmm. So that was the twist that I was referring to earlier on the poster, because like, oh, he's done Spider-Man, he's done Willow. This guy's like kind of getting big now. Not really, but they had him on the poster. They made it seem like he was, dead in the first 10 minutes. So he was, while there was a kill before him, he was really the first kill. Yeah. And it was a guy. Is he the first? No, he's not the first. Scream 3 had the first male that died. No, Scream 2 did it. Wow, these guys are really good. See, you always think that the first death in a horror movie is a girl, because a lot of times it is.
Yeah, Scream 2 was, what was his name?
The guy from House.
The guy from House.
Yeah, the black doctor in House.
Yes.
Yeah, he got stabbed in the toilet.
Right.
Yeah. Stop thinking about
penis through the ear.
Okay, now that's getting cut out.
From Scary Movie.
Yeah, I know it's from Scary Movie. We're not talking about that. I was literally trying to tell you not to say that before, like as you were getting it out. But yeah, that's the guy. And then he had an incident or whatever it's called with Jada Pinkett Smith, and not the same kind that she had recently, where she gets murdered in the movie theater. So Scream 2 opened. The first kill was a guy. Look at these guys; they're super progressive. Mm-hmm. It's not some dumb blonde getting murdered. Oh, that's the first movie.
Now we just need a black killer.
Wait a second. The first movie, they killed the football player before they killed the girl.
Oh yeah.
All right, I take everything back that I said about it typically being...
Maybe we did drink a little too much.
Has there ever been a girl killed first? Did the girlfriend die before Cotton in Scream 3? Or was
That's what I was going to say. I don't know. No, I think Cotton died first, didn't he?
I haven't seen Scream 3 in a minute.
Yeah, I'd have to rewatch it. But
yeah, I'd have to rewatch the opening too.
The memory of a goldfish.
But even if it was the girlfriend, we both know that the actual first kill, and it's the same with the first two movies. Like, yes, the boyfriend was technically killed first, but Drew Barrymore was the first kill, really, right? And then the second one, I would say those were probably equal. It wasn't targeted or anything.
Yeah, the first one, Drew Barrymore, it was from her perspective, not from her boyfriend's perspective. But the second movie, it bounced back and forth between both of them.
Right. And the third one was definitely just Cotton.
Yeah.
Who was the opening kill in the fourth one? Oh yeah, we just watched that one. It was the one where they did the trick. It's like, it's just a movie. It's just a movie. It's just a movie.
The Inception.
Yeah. That one was kind of weird. I think that was probably the weakest opening kill.
I don't know.
What was Scream 5's? Oh!
She didn't die.
She didn't die.
Yeah.
That was the whole shtick with that one.
Yeah.
Sarah. Scream 4 definitely had the weakest opening then.
Yeah. It was funny though, but yeah.
Yeah. I think they went maybe the first time it being a movie, but after 2 or 3 times it's all right, now am I watching Scary Movie or Scream 4?
Well, no, because yeah, I guess you're right.
It was at least twice that they did that. I can't remember. All right, but we're not talking about those movies. We're just talking about Scream 6. So, dude gets killed after he finds his roommate butchered and stuffed in the refrigerator. They find the girl from Scream 5, the older sister, find her driver's license. So they found her driver's license, which has already thrown a bunch of red flags because her driver's license is there. We know she's not the killer. So it's got to be somebody who...
Well, we didn't find out her license was there until later in the movie.
As soon as they did the investigation, they were like, oh, your license was there.
I guess, but I mean, while that's happening from Ghostface's perspective.
Yeah, there was some time in between that. They had the party, which is that party. So they go to a party. So the guy gets killed. It cuts to them. They're going to a Halloween party or a frat party. It's a costume party. And the one thing I can actually find to complain about in this movie off the top of my head, or at least when I watched it, was this scene. So they're all at a party. Everybody's drinking. They're chit-chatting. You see the people from the last movie that survived, and now they've got new friends. The younger sister is really tired of her older sister being overprotective, Jenna Ortega. She meets a guy. She wants to hook up with him. They're both drunk. He he wasn't being like very rude or like you would see in like Law and Order SVU. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't being like that.
No, he was just normal drunk frat dude. He wasn't being like extra pushy or...
See, I wouldn't even say a normal drunk frat dude because I don't know a lot of frat dudes. I just know how movies portray frat dudes. He wasn't even being portrayed like a normal movie frat drunk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they're usually pushy and rude and mean. He wasn't being any of those things. And she was like, yeah, I want to go upstairs with you. He's like, okay, cool. Let's go upstairs and drink some Fireball or something because that's what people in college do. And they started going upstairs. And then the friend's girlfriend was like, leave her alone. He's like, I don't know who you are, but she wants to come with me, so we're going to go. And then they ran and got, Big Brother, who I guess...
Chad.
Yeah, has a crush on her, which probably plays into how he reacted more than the reality or what they were saying is the reason. So he goes over there and, hey, get your hands off of her. And he's like, I don't even know who you are. So imagine being that guy. You see some random other guy that's like big, been drinking, and he's like, hey, give me that girl. You're going to be like, hey, man, back off.
You're a little pushy right now.
Yeah, you're a little pushy. I don't know who you are, and I'm not going to just give you the girl. She said she wants to go hang out with me. And so they get into a little bit of tuffle, and the girl falls over, Jenna Ortega falls over, Big Sister shows up, and then tases the frat guy in the genitals, which I feel is a huge overreaction to this.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's assault.
Yeah, I mean, that's sexual assault.
True.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, if this was an episode of Law and Order SVU, she'd be the one getting in trouble.
Yeah, he's the victim.
Yep. He wasn't trying to do anything crazy. And look, we all know what he wanted to do upstairs for real, right?
Yeah, but they were both consenting.
They were both aware of that.
Yes.
They were both agreeing to that. Neither of them were sober. So assuming that he's automatically the evil one in that, I feel like at this point we know that's silly, and the sister definitely overreacted. You can't go around tasing people in the genitals, male or female. That's wildly inappropriate, and you should go to jail over. She kind of got her just desserts afterwards, though, when that girl threw her drink in her face. Mm-hmm. I think that was justified, or at least karma, air quotes, or whatever. So come to find out, everybody thinks older sister is the one who really killed everybody in Scream 5, and that she framed the actual killers.
Richie.
Yeah, Richie and girl who no one cares about. Did they even mention her name in that movie? They say
Scream 6?
Yeah, they say Richie a lot, but I don't remember them saying her name.
Yeah, it was definitely all about Richie. She was an
afterthought.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she was kind of an afterthought in Scream 5 too, to be honest.
Yes, she was. But the thing I was going to say is they're spreading the rumor that Sam is the killer.
Oh yeah, Sam Carpenter.
Yeah, because in the 5th movie she goes crazy and like stabs the stuff out of Richie like 100 times or something. Anyway, and you see these little images of her like having visions of Billy and whatnot. So you feel like she kind of is a little psychotic, and that's why before they went to the scene where you find her ID at the first crime scene, I kind of thought like, oh, maybe Sam is the killer.
I never thought it.
I thought that she was gonna be trying to pick off these Ghostface killers before they, got to her sister or whatever.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling it because she was at therapy during that.
So to me, it felt like a pretty good twist in the beginning.
Oh yeah, let's talk about her therapy real quick. We kind of skipped over that scene earlier in the movie. So right after the killing and right before the party, Sam is in therapy. She's not really wanting to open up. The therapist is being pushy. She opens up. It's like, yeah, my dad was a serial killer, and then I was attacked by a serial killer, and then I stabbed the ever-living crap out of the guy who was trying to kill me, and I felt good. And he's like, yeah, I don't think I want to do this anymore.
He just closes the book. All right, get out.
Yeah. Legally, I have to report you to the police. I don't think that is true.
No, because she didn't admit to doing anything illegal, and she didn't threaten anyone.
Yeah, she committed self-defense in the last movie. That's all she said. She did. There was a killer coming after her. She grabbed the nearest weapon that she had, and she protected herself. And that it felt good. So she needs therapy because she's worried about it feeling good. There's nothing illegal about enjoying things that you shouldn't. Now, that may be illegal to do those things sometimes, depending on what that thing is, like killing people, generally speaking, illegal. Self-defense, on the other hand, not illegal. But if you feel good about killing people during self-defense, you should probably seek help. And that's what she was trying to do, or was maybe court-mandated to do. It seems like she may have been court-mandated.
Yeah, because she didn't want to be there at all.
Yeah, no, she didn't. But Jenna Ortega never went to therapy, so... Well, did she kill any of the killers in the last one?
Yeah, she shot the girlfriend.
Okay, that's what I thought. No, I thought the girlfriend was lit on fire.
She was lit on fire.
And then shot. Okay. Yeah, it's been a minute since I watched that one. Did you notice? This is actually something that I really enjoyed with this movie. Anytime you see Jenna Ortega's hand, she's got a giant scar in the middle of it from the opening of Scream 5 when she took the knife through her hand.
Yeah.
I really liked that detail. Yeah, they didn't forget. I appreciate that.
I kind of forgot how butchered she was in that opening scene.
Oh,
of
yeah.
the movie. She got messed up bad.
She got messed up.
I was really surprised that she was still alive. But hey, that was the opening twist, I guess, in that movie.
Yeah, that was a really, really good twist. Yeah. A really good twist. That's why that's one of my favorite openings. I think the original is the best, obviously. It's a classic, Drew Barrymore. But I'm going to say Scream 5 is definitely number 2 for me when it comes to just the opening kill. Because Scream 2's was, kind of funny, right? Because it's in the movie theater and everybody's like, ha, 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 ha. You're just kidding, right? And Jada Pinkett's like, and then she dies, and then the third one I didn't like because I really like Cotton Weary and I didn't want him to die. I'm like, no, why are you using that as an opening kill? Fourth one is, they went too deep with the stuff. And then the fifth one was very, very nice because it had the twist. And this one had a twist too. Wasn't as good of a twist, but still interesting.
I like this one.
Yeah, I liked the idea of it. Maybe the execution could have been a little better. I feel like they spent too long with the Flash killing the girl and not enough with Flash getting killed. I think Ghostface taunting him more would have been better. Because it didn't seem like it was a very long movie. It felt pretty short.
Yeah, it did feel short. I mean, they all kind of do, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we're watching Avatar or Lord of the Rings here, It's just people getting stabbed. You don't need too many twists and turns, I guess. But moving on from that, you start to meet all of the characters. You've got the 4 from the last movie that survived. You've got the roommate for Sam and Jenna Ortega, who I immediately was suspicious of. I wasn't 100% certain of her, but I was very suspicious from the beginning because of once they revealed the driver license thing. I'm like, okay, that's the most logical person because she lives with them, right? Mm-hmm. And then we meet the nerdy guy that's the roommates with Chad,
curly-haired boy.
Yeah. I'm gonna just call him Bobo because I can't remember his name, and I'll probably forget that I called him Bobo by the end.
I feel like he's a Timmy.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah, he's a really like Stranger Things, young it weirdo.
So he's the dumb, goofy, shy virgin.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Well, alleged virgin.
Right. And he's Chad's roommate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So he's Chad's roommate. What's Chad's sister's name? I always forget her name.
I don't remember.
I'm gonna call her Leia.
Sure.
I don't know why.
Enough,
I don't know why. She gives me Leia vibes.
Yeah.
So she has her girlfriend,
Asian girl.
Yeah.
Her name.
Kamiko or something.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
All the names. Just assume it's that one. All right.
It'd be funny if that's what it actually was, though.
It would be. Yeah.
Her name, Stacy. So we meet the sister's girlfriend,
Mindy.
Yeah, the sister, Chad's sister Mindy, girlfriend Annika. That's her first name. I don't know. She was the annoying one at the party. I didn't like her very much. She didn't really have much to say throughout the movie. Those are kind of like the main teenagers, right? Well, I guess they're not all teenagers now. The main crew,
main cast, main crew. Yeah.
Sam, her boyfriend.
Oh yeah. Danny.
Yeah, Danny. Yeah, Danny. I liked Danny. I'm telling you right now, you give Danny a baseball bat, he would have handled this situation in 5 minutes. 5 minutes, it would have been over. Those stupid killers with their skinny little arms would have been dead. Dead. Or if he gave anybody in the movie a gun.
Well, Gail Weathers proves that theory wrong.
Okay, anybody who isn't a stupid 60-year-old journalist a gun.
I mean, Dewey couldn't do it in the first 5 movies.
Hey, every killer was killed with a gun up until the last movie.
Yeah.
They're all shot in the head.
Yeah, Richie was the only one that wasn't.
Yeah, he got stabbed in the head. Or
He got
stabbed in the chest.
Shot too, did he?
I can't remember. Probably. That's kind of their thing, is shooting people in the head.
Anyway, Danny.
Yeah, Danny would have solved the whole thing. Very, like, macho, cool-looking dude. I liked him. I liked his vibes.
Yeah, I feel like they tried to throw us off and make us suspicious of him, but I don't know.
I never felt it.
Yeah, he felt like a real one.
Yeah, he did. Especially when they were on the subway later in the movie, when they were going to set up the trap, and everybody's wearing costumes because it's Halloween, and somebody in a Ghostface costume starts walking towards them.
And he steps in front of
And
them.
he steps in front of her. I was like, man, this guy right here, this is how you're supposed to be. That's a man. It was at this moment we experienced some technical difficulties due to my excitement, but we're going to resume now where we left off.
Alright, so we just left off on Danny.
Yep, Danny.
We're still talking about character introductions.
Is it?
So we'll pick up at the college, right? So Mindy is doing the whole like horror movie tropes thing, talking about this isn't a, what does she say? It's not another requel. It's a franchise.
We missed the scene before that. That's pretty important though.
Okay.
The bodega. Wasn't the bodega before that?
Was it?
I thought the bodega was after the party because they called her to go down to the station.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah. So, all right. They get home from the party. They get a phone call from the cops. They're like, "Hey, we need to come in. All right, there's been a killing. We want to talk to you."
Because they found Sam's ID.
Because they found Sam's ID.
Right.
And on their way there, they get a phone call. Oh, who's it from? The killer. Roger Jackson? I can't remember his name. That's the voice of the killer. I think it's Roger L. Jackson. They get a call. He's like, you need to watch your back. And as soon as he says that, he like charges him from behind and gets the sister, and then she's like, "Wapow!" Takes care of him. And they, we're running, and they go into like a bodega or convenience store, whatever they're called in New York.
Full of people.
There was like at least 5-6 people in there.
Yeah.
And some guys, got a problem with the guy at the register, and he, some skinhead with a goatee, and they're like, "Help us!" And he's like, "Shut up, kid." And then the killer comes in and he's like, "You got a problem, dude?" And
Stab.
Yeah, killer's like, "Yeah." Stabs him. Pocket knife. But stabs him. And then everybody's like, "Oh, crap, we need to get out of here." And they start scattering, right? Except for the 2 people
Exactly.
who are getting targeted by the killer.
You could probably see me next to you in the theater, just like,
What are you doing? Follow the other people, right? And then the owner of the shop pulls out the old 12 gauge and goes, "Bleh!" But Ghostface too slick for that. He's like, and hides somewhere. And the stupid shop owner's like, "Let me get out from behind the counter
where I was safe,
so I can try to track down this guy with a knife who can only hurt me if he gets close." And then he dies. Well, he gets stabbed.
Clearly, he's never played Halo.
He's never played Halo.
Because shotgun beats sword.
Shotgun beats sword. Well, I guess in this case, sword beats shotgun.
If you use it right.
Well, okay, we're not okay. Assassination, yeah. But killer stabs him, takes the gun, shoots him with it. He's like, "All right, just you and me in this tiny 100-square-foot store." I mean, it's not
with mirrors.
Because this is a store in New York City. I'm sure they dealt with shoplifters. They've got those giant concave?
Convex?
Convex. I don't know. It's got those giant fisheye lens mirrors so that you can look down the aisles to see what people are doing. And this killer, for whatever reason, decided not to look in those to see where those girls were. Thank goodness for those girls. So they have a little, tense moment in there. He's got the shotgun, pops off a couple shots, whatever. They escape. Cops show up, bring him in. Oh, here's we found your ID there, blah, blah, blah. And when they found the ID, like I said earlier, that's when I got suspicious of the roommate. So they go back Did they have the conversation about who could be the killer before or after the roommate got?
Before, because that's when we were talking. She was talking to the cop.
Yep.
The cop, by the way, is her
Roommate's
dad.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's when a character from the third movie, fourth movie comes back.
Yeah. So Hayden Panettiere is back. She didn't die, like everybody said.
Kirby.
Yeah. You know, there's two characters that everybody said didn't actually die in Scream. One's Kirby, and the other's Stu.
Yep.
All right. It's only a countdown to when it happens. I mean, Matthew Lillard has been saying for years that Stu is still alive. He was actually supposed to be teaming up with Roman. He was going to be the second killer in Scream 3. Whatever happened, I mean, that fell through. But he was supposed to be. I'm glad he wasn't, though, because now we can have him now. You know, I get it now. But he was in his prime back then, so maybe back then would have been better.
Well, I'd still rather have him now instead of, 2003?
Yeah, he is by far my favorite character in any of the Scream movies. It goes number 1, Stu, number 2, Dewey. The rest, Sidney, meh.
Yeah.
Gale Weathers, meh. Especially Gale Weathers, the last 3 movies.
Yes.
Yeah. Blech.
Yeah, Gale in the first 3 movies, I kind of liked.
Yeah.
After that, she
once she cheated on Dewey and got divorced, over. I disliked her after that. Yeah, and then all of the other side characters that have gotten killed off here and there, never really cared about too much. Randy was kind of cool, but
yeah, I did like Judy.
Yeah, Judy was nice, but
and I liked her becoming the sheriff after Dewey stepped down.
Yeah, he had a hard time after he got cheated on and then divorced Courtney. That happened in real life, by the way, for those out there who don't know the background. Courtney Cox, who plays Gale Weathers, got married to David Arquette, who played Dewey, because their characters falling in love. In the movie, they fell in love in real life, and then she cheated on him, and they got a divorce, and I've never forgiven her, and I never will, unless she asks for it, and then I will, but she'll never ask for it. Where are we going with this? Sorry, guys, I have ADHD.
The cops talking to Sam and Tara.
Right.
We meet Kirby.
Kirby
is an FBI agent.
Yep. She decided, I don't want to live my life as a life of fear. I want to have control, and I want to take down people who are going to kill people. And so she became an FBI agent. And then the dad of the roommate, that's the cop, was told that he was going to lose the case, and then he fought to keep the case. Wonder why.
Suspicious.
Yeah, not suspicious at all. But moving on, they have that. They have a conversation in the square about who can be in the killers, and this is where it gets into like the real meta stuff. It's like, well, this is like a sequel, requel, dequel, bequel, whatever.
Franchise.
Yeah, we're in a franchise now, all right? One of you's Spider-Man, and one of you's owned by another company. Oh, wait, that is Spider-Man. So they're having that fun little conversation. I don't remember too many specifics about it other than everybody pointing fingers at everybody being...
Well, she pretty much pegs it right from the start. She's like, the roommates, obvious suspects.
Oh, yeah.
So she had that going for her, Randy's...
and she even said how they did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she knew what she was talking about. The thing is, any of those theories could have been right, though. Any of the people there were just as easily could have been the killer, you know?
True.
So that's the thing. Like, now that we're this deep in it, it's a lot harder to determine who it is.
Yeah. Other survivors could be killers.
Yep.
Family members can be killers.
Main character.
Yeah.
Now that Sydney's gone. But... yeah, that was a good scene. And then they used a clip from that scene that was deleted from the full movie for something else that we'll get into later. Actually, you know, I'm not going to say what it is. I'm just going to say when you're supposed to watch it. There is a post-credit scene, all right? If you haven't seen this movie, there's a post-credit scene. Stay.
It's worth waiting for.
It's worth waiting for. Stay. Stay the whole time. And it's not a mid-credit scene or like a weird pre-credit scene. It is after everything. You got to stay the whole time. And I'm telling you, it's worth it. You can take that to the bank. The Silicon Valley Bank.
Nice.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Let's talk about more of the killing. I don't really care to go through the whole story beat by beat by beat. Who's the next person to get killed after that? It was the roommate, allegedly, right? Okay.
Well, first it was her lover for the night.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't show that part, though.
I think this is just messed up. Why'd she have to bring him over that night if she knew she was going to have him killed?
To make it look real.
I guess.
You know that she's one of the killers too, right? She doesn't care.
I know.
And she has like 50 lovers.
True.
Yeah. So, boyfriend, Danny, looks, he lives across the way so he can see into their apartment from his apartment. And he sees Redhead about to get yoinked by the killer, right? There's somebody screaming, ghost face, mask, and costume, whatever, about to get her. And he's like, no, stop. And he tries to call his girlfriend, and she's like, I'm hanging out with the boys. I ain't answering my phone. I'll call him later and whatnot. And then there's like, oh, our roommate, our slutty roommate's at it again. Look how loud it is in there. Keep her down, you two. Oh, wait a second. She's getting murdered. Ah!
Doesn't everyone yell help when they're getting it on?
I don't know. I'm not going to say any more about that. Moving on.
I'm just saying, they could have paid attention to the noises she was making.
Yeah, so they're like, oh, our roommate's getting killed. And then, she comes flying through the door. They don't actually show her getting stabbed, cut, anything whatsoever. They just, show the friends hearing her screams, opening the door, her body getting thrown out, right? And they're like, she's dead.
She did look dead. It looked like her throat was sliced.
As soon as they did somebody's getting murdered in the other room and they're not showing it, as soon as they did that, I was like, all right, she's the killer, right? Because then Sam, I gotta get a knife, right?
Yeah.
And earlier in the movie, as soon as they saw in the news that there was a killing, what did she do? She went to go for a kitchen knife. And who would have access to their kitchen knives? Who would have known that she would go for the kitchen knife? Who had access to her driver's license? And who didn't they show actually get stabbed? The redhead. So I knew from that point on, all right, she's one of the killers. They didn't imply that there would be more than one up to that point. But at that point, it's like, okay, there has to be at least two, right? Because the one who just fake killed her is obviously in on it, right? Big battle. They end up like, we can't escape for whatever reason. A couple of them. Mindy gets stabbed.
She got sliced in the shoulder. Pretty
any knife wound.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna call it stab for clarity because
I have to be technical.
The movie is stab. What if Scary Movie did a sequel where in Scary Movie there was a movie being made called Freaky Movie?
That's not a bad idea.
Too much. The Matrix.
Mindy and her girlfriend are trapped in the room. Killer's trying to get in to get them. They can't escape through the room, so they are trying to get out the window and get into Danny's apartment.
Yeah, so they're doing that, and he's like, conveniently has a ladder that...
Worth mentioning, Annika's already been stabbed in the gut 4 times.
Oh, yeah, she got messed up. Yeah. So she got stabbed in the gut several times, and Mindy got cut in the arm, bleeding pretty bad, and they're locked in the room. He's got a ladder that looks like it's used for maybe a construction business or something like that. It's a pretty long ladder to have in your apartment in New York.
Yeah, I suppose. It's just a little collapsible ladder that expands up to 12 feet or something. Just long enough just to barely bridge the gap.
Yeah, so they bridge the gap and they're like, we're going to have to crawl across it. And it's, we're 3 or 4 floors up or something. And it's spooky long drop.
Apparently everyone's scared of heights.
Yeah. One by one they go across. Obviously, Sam goes first, right?
I don't think Tara did, but yeah, same thing.
Wait, who's Tara?
The sister. The little sister.
The little sister?
Yeah.
She wasn't in there. Remember, her and Chad got out already.
Yeah, that's
They went through the front door like the smart people.
True.
Yeah, so Sam goes, and then it was just the other two, right? It was Sam, Mindy, and Annika.
Yeah.
So they kind of oh, no, you go and I'll stay. No, you go and I'll stay.
Obviously, Annika was like, I'm probably going to die.
She's like, my freaking bowels are hanging out right now, lady. Just get across the damn ladder. So Minnie goes across, and she's like, come on, baby. Come on, baby. And at this point, Ghostface is pretty well into the room. And she's like, okay, I'm going to go really weirdly slow.
I mean, she's obviously losing a lot of
Yeah,
blood.
that's true. Her entrails kept getting like hooked on the rungs of the ladder. She's trying. One of them got wrapped around her knee. No, I'm just kidding. But she's going across, and then right before she gets there, old Ghostface shows up and is like, "Let's have a little fun with this."
Yeah, he could have easily just dumped her off the ladder.
Oh yeah.
But no, he just wanted to mess with her and shake it around a little.
And yeah, she's like bouncing up and down, like she was on a trampoline.
Falling out
Yeah.
more and more.
And then she falls and hits her head on the dumpster, and then the asphalt, and dies a very brutal death. And we'll cut to a little bit later. Nothing too crazy happens after that. Cops are there. The dad is all like crying, like, "Oh, my daughter is dead." No, she's not. She's not.
His performance for like how he reacted to his daughter dying, pretty weak. That's when I got suspicious of him.
Oh yeah, I didn't get anything from that. I wasn't really suspicious of him up until he started trying to point the blame at Kirby.
That was the very end of the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like they did a decent job of at least covering him up. Just like the curly-headed kid, I wasn't really suspicious of him either.
Yeah.
Like, I knew the redhead was a killer. The other ones, I didn't know until the end.
The redhead and the cop, I was suspicious of. Curly head kid got away from me.
Yeah. But the rest of it's just the train stuff, right? And the train stuff and then the final act.
Well, the whole thing with Gale, but...
Oh, yeah, and the Gale thing and then the doctor, okay?
Right.
So to further try to implicate Sam as the killer here, the therapist that she saw earlier gets stabbed in the face by one of the Ghostface killers, and her file gets stolen.
Straight through the sinus.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
It was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
And it was kind of funny because he's watching a movie where somebody's just screaming, "You're next! You're next!"
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, guys, it's a little on the nose.
Subtle.
Yeah. Like, come on. At least, like, if you want to have that scene playing, fine. Maybe have him have his TV turned down just a little bit. Just a little bit. Because right now it's just screaming, "You're next!"
Hey, they don't call it Scream for nothing.
Touche. They definitely were letting this guy know to watch out. It's kind of like the first movie where he's like, Jamie, turn around, Jamie, because his name is Jamie in real life, and he needed to turn around. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. That was actually pretty funny. That was clever. Of the first movie writers, not these ones. All right, they're not as clever. They just had somebody screaming, "You're next." He gets stabbed in the face. They steal her file for whatever reason, and Kirby is now like suspicious of Sam, and they're trying to do the whole like, we'll get the killer in the park kind of thing, like they did in Scream 2 when Randy got killed. But this time the killer wasn't there. Where was he?
This is the one time that a phone trace actually works.
Yeah, the one time it works in a movie, and he's across town, right?
Yeah.
Or she. So they're across town at Gail's apartment. And real quick, the reason why they're targeting Gail is because she found their little hidey hole, So they have this big museum, basically.
It's like an abandoned theater.
Yeah, it's an abandoned theater that they turned into a memorial for all of the Ghostface killers, which was really cool until I found out who the killers were. If it ended up being Stu,
oh yeah, that would
have been way better to have that museum in.
Yeah,
especially like his little Billy shrine. He's like, "Oh Billy, why'd you hit me with the phone, you?" That's my favorite line in any horror movie.
Blood here, man.
Oh wait, no. Here's my favorite line from any horror movie ever. Did you really call my mom? Or no. Did you really call the cops? My mom's gonna be so mad at me. Oh gosh, I love that Stu.
He is the best character in all the Scream movies.
Yeah, Matthew Lillard is just a great actor when he's in that role. Like the goofy kind of guy. I haven't seen him in anything serious. But moving on, they found the shrine, like the survivors and the victims and whatnot found the shrine because Gail showed it to them, mostly because the cop set it up so that it would be found by Gail or Kirby, but Gail found it first. So they found that, and they're like, "Oh, this is his hideout, we'll trap him here," kind of thing. And so they
Terrible idea, by the way.
Terrible idea. Very dumb.
Playing
But
on his home turf. But yeah. All right.
yeah, they're in the park. Do the phone trace. Gail's apartment. Killer goes after Gail. Well, Killer kills Gail's boyfriend first, who deserved to die. First of all, you're that big. You're that buff, athletic looking, and you're gonna let a scrawny little redhead girl or her scrawny little curly-headed brother take you down that easily? Now, they could have been on PCP. There's a running theory. Every ghost face does PCP before they go on a kill, because they're all ridiculously stronger than they look once
And
they take the mask off.
They're fast.
Oh, yeah. I mean, especially, you know why they're so fast? It's the robe.
Yeah.
The way that it streams in the wind, it's like a sail almost, but it goes backwards. I don't know. But she's like, "Oh, I'll fight him off," and it was a pretty decent fight, really. Gail made some pretty dumb mistakes for somebody who's been through this 6 times.
Jamming on the gun safe,
or having a gun safe that isn't a fingerprint scanner.
Yeah.
Like, your phone has that, right? Super easy, not inconvenient whatsoever. They make them for your gun lock. Probably use that next time, Gail, or anybody.
Or just calm down a little bit. Like, I know it's stressful, but you need to be calm enough to actually function.
And why doesn't she have a panic room? I feel like after 5 incidents, panic room is not, too far.
Well, there's another scary movie called Panic Room.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, well, maybe she has.
So she finally gets her gun out of the safe, and she's like, what do I do? I know. Waste ammunition by shooting through a door that I can't see through. So she goes, blah, 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 at the door, and you hear, some noises that sounds like somebody might have gotten hurt or whatever. And then she does the dumbest thing that she's done besides cheat on Dewey in real life, and that is leave the room that was locked, where she had one point of entry to watch, and goes into a hallway and gets another phone call, and she's like, can you hold for me 1 second? And hangs up, and then star 69s and hears the phone ring behind another door, and then shoots through that. Now that was funny and smart too, yeah. But it would only have been smart if you were never in a situation where you were already in a safe place.
Or if you're far enough away where your gun is usable, don't be right in front of the door. You know what I mean? Yeah,
and then she goes to open the door to see, that's a very dumb move. So she gets stabbed. Killer finally gets her. Stabs her a couple times, but one really good time. With the glass in the lung.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was about to kill the killer, right? And then she got because you can't tell if somebody's actually passed out or not when they're in this costume, which I think they've been aware of since the first movie, and yet people to this day are dumb enough to walk up to the dang killer. And if you have a gun, there's no reason to do that at all. Not at all.
Shoot first, unmask after.
Yep. So if any of you are ever targeted by a ghost-faced killer, shoot them first. Shoot them in the head after you shoot them the first couple of times. All right. If they go down, put a couple in their head, and then call the cops and walk away. Just go sit on the front porch till the cops show up and say, "Hey, this psycho just came after me. I shot him a lot in the face. All right, I want to make sure he didn't get back up." And they're going to be like, "Okay, give us the gun." And hopefully you're not in a city where as soon as you try to give them the gun, they just shoot you. But we never know nowadays. The paramedics show up because I guess she had called. Oh, no. The girls knew that they were, the killer went to Gail, so they were on their way. I'm assuming they called 911. So they actually got help to her pretty quickly. And so she managed to pull through. Woohoo for her. Dewey didn't manage to pull through, and he got stabbed in a hospital.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Dewey gets stabbed in the hospital. Gail gets stabbed at the top of a tower in New York City and has faster response time. And lives. Justice. Real justice. That's neither here nor there. Boyfriend died. Rest in peace, guy. I think it was played by Idris Elba. No, I'm just kidding. That would actually be pretty funny, though. Just some random famous guy. But after that, they're like, all right, Now you're messing with us. You got a survivor. Well, we ain't gonna take this no more. We're gonna come after you, Ghostface. And so we're gonna go set a trap for him in that movie theater. And so they start making their way to the movie theater. But, they're on the other side of town now. So they gotta take the subway. And it's Halloween. So everybody's wearing Ghostface masks for whatever stupid reason. I don't know why. Like, do people dress up like Jeffrey Dahmer for Halloween before the Netflix series? You know,
and even after the Netflix series, I don't think.
Like, how many Charlie Manson? Is that his name?
Charles Manson.
Same. Charlie Xavier, Charles Xavier, same thing, man. It's all about who you know.
Yeah.
But Manson, did anybody dress up like him?
I'm sure people have, but you're not going to see 2 of them on a subway.
Yeah, and you're not going to see 50 of them on a subway either.
Right.
But in this universe, that's the world's most famous costume, where in this one, they all look cheap and nothing like the movie. And they're all scared because they're seeing all these ghost faces. Like, are one of these the killer? Or are they not the killer? We don't know. Well, thankfully, they got split up at the subway. So most of them got on the first one. So Danny, Sam, Jenna, and Chad.
And yeah, you said Danny. Yeah.
Yep. They all got on the first subway.
Everybody except for Mindy and curly-headed boy.
Yeah. And they got on the second subway. Bad news for Mindy. Both the killers were on that subway. So she got again. And then for whatever reason, one of the killers helps get her to the hospital so that she lives.
Yeah, so she assumed that, I guess I was wrong about you. You're actually not a killer.
Yeah. And honestly, that would have been I don't see how she would have lost that opinion up until she left the hospital to come see them when they were at the movie theater, right? Mm-hmm. Because the last time she would have saw him, he saved her. That was kind of weird. Maybe he had a crush on her. Yeah, I don't know either.
I mean, what was that guy's name? Charlie? He had a crush on Kirby, but he still killed her. Or tried to kill her.
But he didn't stab her somewhere fatal.
I suppose.
He was just trying to look... Well, actually, he may have had a crush on her, but he was really with what's-her-name. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I just remembered she shot her boyfriend in the genitals in that movie. Mm-hmm. That's why I don't like that movie. Okay, as much as the other ones. Yeah, Scream 4. You can skip it. I mean, watch it if you're bored, but...
I liked Scream 4.
I like Hayden Panettiere in it. I liked Kangaroo Jack in it. Well, not Kangaroo Jack that was in Scream 2, but Kangaroo Jack that was in Scream 4 when he got lobotomized. And I like Sydney a lot in Scream 4 because she kung fu whooped that guy, you know what I'm saying? Well, I guess it was her female cousin or niece or whatever. But neither nor there. We'll go back to Scream 6 now. Now we're at the final act. We're in the movie theater where all the Scream stuff is. You got Billy. You got Stu. You got Crazy Dude from Scream 2. You got Billy Mom. You got Roman. You got Crazy Cousin of Sydney. And you got Charlie. And the clothes that people were wearing when they got stabbed. And you got Scream 5, Richie and Girl. You know, you got all the killers.
You got the TV.
The TV that was dropped on Stu's head.
Yep.
And did you see any blood on it? I didn't. I really want him to come back and just be like a Silence of the Lambs. You know? Just like the exact opposite personality of the killer. What was his name? Hannibal the Cannibal or something. Hannibal Lecter. Yeah. So because Hannibal Lecter is all quiet and smart and stoic and creepy, whereas Stu is a goofball and idiot, but still a killer.
Yeah, he's
just have him
crazy Shaggy.
Yeah, they have him locked up in some secret prison somewhere, and the FBI needs help identifying Ghostface killers and go sees him. And he's like, "Hey, y'all got any hot fries?" or something stupid. I don't know. Yeah, I'll let you know who it is for a bottle of Mountain Dew. Some Cheetos.
All right, now you're just talking about yourself.
What are you holding right now, Marty? So just so everybody knows, Marty has been this entire time holding a Buck 120, which is the make and model of knife used in all of the Scream movies, with I think the exception of Scream 4 might have had one knife their prop knife didn't look the same in like maybe one part. But yeah, we have the Scream knife. It was a gift from him to me for whenever I left the Air Force. It's a very nice knife and very sharp.
Very sharp.
Very sharp. I have hurt myself on it at least twice. I gotta find the sheath for that so my kid doesn't grab it. It weighs probably as much as she does. Maybe not that much, but moving on. Over here with our Scream knife, talking about Scream. I have a ghost face mask somewhere within 100 feet of this room. I'm not sure exactly where I put it because I hide it in places to scare Sydney. And it never works. Oh yeah, my wife's name is Sydney, and so I'm constantly quoting Scream to her. After I turn the microphone off, I'll tell you about a pretty fun one that I like to do quite frequently.
Okay.
But they set up the trap, and at this point, they're locked in there in the movie theater, and they get a phone call from the cop, and he's like, "It's Kirby. Kirby's the killer. She's not really an FBI agent anymore. She got fired from it because she went crazy after the killings last year." And they're like, "Oh no, Kirby's the killer." Never believed that for a second. Never believed it for a second. That's the point where I was like, really, okay, there's something wrong with this cop, right? There's no way that Kirby's a killer. And, oh gosh, who gets attacked first, Kirby or Chad? I think it's Kirby. And they're like, we'll go for help. Mm-hmm. So Kirby gets attacked, and they're like, oh, well, I guess she's not a killer. And then they're trying to run away, and they got one killer. I mean, they brutalizing this killer. I mean, they beating the tar out of this guy.
Yeah, Chad, he's throwing some haymakers.
Oh yeah, he was about to kill him with that candy machine. Because I mean, that thing is iron. I mean, it was heavy. He would have taken care of business.
Once he got him to the ground, I really thought they were all gonna just jump in and just kick the killer until he died.
Yeah. But then the at least one jump scare that got Marty was the second killer revealing themselves. And they went to town stabbing Chad. Stab. I mean, they stabbed him at least a dozen times, it feels. I mean, here's the problem. Neither of these people took any kind of human anatomy or physiology lesson in their life, because they stabbed him repeatedly, like in the shoulder between where, it's just past like the rib cage. I don't even know if they're hitting those, and even if they were hitting the rib cage, they were past the lungs, so they're not hitting anything vital. They're not arteries, veins, organs of any kind. They're just hurting him very badly.
Yeah, pretty sure that's just like muscle, nerve, and lymph nodes.
Yeah, like, oh gosh, what's that movie where it's like a hostage situation, and there's, they got the guy, and they're holding the gun up, and then he just shoots him through the shoulder, and kills the guy behind him.
Yeah, he winged him.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you shot me, you could kill me. No, there's nothing there that'll kill you. You're fine. It's that. Like, they just kept stabbing him somewhere where he's gonna hurt. As somebody who has been stabbed there pretty deep, there's nothing there that vital. That's where my rib was removed, was from that part. So I'm missing a rib and a chunk of muscle from that part of my shoulder after a surgery, and I'm fine.
A lot of muscle, Frank.
Ow. All right, well, I guess I'm going to the gym this summer. No, I'm not. Oh man, I'm going to McDonald's. I mean,
all right. So yeah, they stabbed the crap out of Chad.
Yeah, they stabbed Chad.
And then we see that really sick scene where they both wipe the blood off.
Oh yeah, they like in sync. Do that little classic Ghostface move of grabbing the knife with their glove and wiping the blood off of it, right? Mm-hmm. For whatever aesthetic reason. And that was pretty sick. I actually liked that quite a bit. And, chase. Now it's time for the killer reveal, because I don't feel like talking about this movie that much longer. It's like we've been talking almost as long as the movie is, because I have ADHD and go off on rants on things that are irrelevant, like I'm doing right now. All right. Killer one, cop.
Yeah, the first one revealed is the cop.
The cop.
The dad.
Oh, yeah. So the cop is the killer. Killer number 2 revealed is Gingy or
Yeah.
Bro?
Redhead. Yeah.
So Gingy, so the girl we were talking about earlier that air quote got killed, that obviously didn't because they didn't actually show her getting stabbed or anything. And then the last one was a curly-headed boy that saved Mindy for whatever reason. And they're all cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs now. Like they've completely lost all of their composure, like killers do at the ends of movies. And we're in the museum for the Ghostface killers. Earlier when they were there, Billy, the ghost of Billy, or whatever mental thing that Sam's got going on, like Billy was talking to her pretty hard, like kill, like the snake from Harry Potter 2.
Yeah.
And so she's like, oh, give me the knife. And at this point in the movie, she's like, okay, I'm doing it. So she goes ham on these guys. I mean, she is messing them up. People getting stabbed in the face, people getting stabbed in the chest, people getting shot, people getting like slowly stabbed through the eye. She went crazy. They're Richie's family. That's why they're the killers.
They're mad at her because she
killed
their
Richie.
psychotic family member.
Yeah, they knew he was weird. They apparently bought the museum. I don't know how a cop on his salary buys a movie theater in New York City, but here we are. And I mean, I'm okay with it. I can suspend disbelief enough to get through that part because of how awesome the actual ending was. The final act was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was very well paced, very brutal when it needed to be, but not like gross and sad. It wasn't sad,
Yeah. Plus, just the aesthetics of the stage and the museum and everything.
They had Richie's home movies playing and whatnot, but some kind of distraction happened, and Sam put on Billy's Ghostface costume. So she's like, she's getting ready to dip. She's going over the edge, and she messed the cop up. I mean, she messed all of them up. Well, except for the brother. Jenna messed him up pretty well.
Well, yeah, Jenna stabbed him in the mouth and did that
Yeah.
little twist. Yeah.
Yeah, but that didn't kill him.
No, I thought he would be dead, but no.
Yeah. I don't think. Well, if she would have hit the spine, it would have probably paralyzed him at least. But that's not. If she doesn't, there's not too much there to actually
Yeah.
be lethal.
Wasn't Sam the one that ended up killing him, like finishing him off?
I think they shot him in the head or something.
Yeah.
As you do in
So
Scream.
yeah, the redhead got shot in the head. Pretty sure the curly-head boy got shot in the head, and then the dad, Sam, shot him and then stabbed him too. I don't know.
No, she stab.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna finish him. And then he's like, oh, thank you for sparing me. And then she's like, oh, wait, no, you effed with my family. And then she stabbed him through the eye.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's crazy, by the way. I'm usually for the protagonists in these movies, especially when it was Sydney. But Sydney, I was okay with her shooting them, or whoever shooting them to defend themselves. Sam has definitely gone off the deep end. Well, I think she's justified in what she's doing. I think she's enjoying it a little too much and probably should still go to therapy and find one who will actually talk to her, maybe outside of New York. Ohio. Maybe Florida. I feel like they would have therapists that would be like, oh yeah, we got tons of people like that. Yeah. Texas? Nah, not Texas. I don't think they have therapists there. They don't have any mental health problems. They're all good. Yeah. It's too dusty and hot to worry about your mental health. You got to worry about your physical health. But yeah, it was a good movie. I really enjoyed the final act, especially. The opening kill was interesting. Not the best of the franchise, but not the worst by far. And the whole movie overall, I think, is the best sequel, even if it's not my favorite sequel.
Yeah, I think it's up there. I wouldn't say it's my favorite or the best, but it's up there.
Yeah. So, like I said earlier, if you're going to the movies and you need something to watch, after you watch 65, watch Scream 6.
I think I would prefer to see Scream 6 in theaters over 65.
I know. Most people would, but yeah. I just want people to see dinosaurs. Okay. It is objectively better than 65, though. At least on an entertainment level, it's more entertaining. Maybe not a better written film, just a more entertaining film. But if you're a horror movie buff, you'll love it. If you're a Scream buff, you'll love it. If you're not going to the movie theaters, it'll stream at some point. Watch it. It's worth watching. If you need something to watch, that's a good pick.
Now, do you think there will be a Scream 7?
All right, so here's Scream 7, and here's my personal Scream miniseries that I will sue you, Sony, if you try to make without my permission. Well, is it owned by Sony? It's a Dimension film. Dimension Films used to be owned by the Weinstein Company. I don't know if it's owned by Sony because it's always on Paramount, and Paramount is Sony, so I'm assuming it's Sony. Whoever owns the rights to Scream, if you make my miniseries without me, I will come after you with all $20 that I have for my legal fund. But Scream 7, like we were talking about before with all the killers of the past. So let's ignore Scream 4 for now because this isn't a traditional trilogy, right? Where it's 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6. We're going to ignore 4 entirely. We're going to pick up from 5 and 6, and we're going to say 7 is the end of this trilogy. All right, first movie. Boyfriend obsessed with movies is the killer and his crazy friend. And Scream 5. Boyfriend obsessed with scary movies is the killer and his crazy friend or girlfriend in this instance. Scream 2. The mourning parent of a killer from the last movie is out for revenge and has young college-age help. Scream 6. The father, which is the parent of the last killer, is the killer, and he has employed some college-aged help, which is just so happens to be his other 2 children, right? All right, Scream 3. Long-lost relative who has been puppeteering this whole thing the whole time and is out for revenge against a strange family member. Who is somebody who's been mentioned in the last 2 movies that we haven't seen?
That would be Richie's mom.
Richie's mom's dead.
Wait, whose mom did we talk about?
Sam,
yeah.
Sam and Jenna's mom. So Sam and Jenna's mom has been talked about multiple times.
That's right, yeah, because the whole thing with Billy.
The whole thing with Billy.
Yeah.
All right, so this is what I'm saying. Billy knocked her up. She wasn't willing. She's always hated Sam and resented Sam for that. She pointed Richie in whatever way to Sam because she wanted Sam to die because she sees Billy when she sees Sam, right? And then her other daughter abandoned her for Sam now, right? So she's lost her kids, the one that she actually loved and the one that she hated. I think she's going to be the mastermind for the trilogy.
Yeah.
Will she be the killer? Maybe. At this point, she's probably pretty old, but so was Jackie from Roseanne in Scream 2. Billy's mom wasn't exactly, a spry young lady.
Yeah.
But she will it won't, I don't think it'll be a single killer again. It could be, but I don't think it will. I would prefer if it wasn't. If it was her and Stu, that would be interesting.
That would be, I like that.
Because they went to high school together.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if she's trying to kill Sam because she hates Billy so much, she probably wouldn't team up with Billy's best friend. Probably. Not entirely unlikely, but probably. But that's what I'm thinking for Scream 7. If they're going with the poetic route,
if it's a requel, like they said, right?
Yeah. Now here's my pitch for anybody who wants to buy it for the Scream miniseries. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to tell anybody that. I'm keeping that one down low. Yeah, that's a secret. That's a secret for me. I'll tell Marty, but I'm not telling you because I'm not going to let you steal it. All right? I don't trust you, Paramount Plus. I don't know who you are, but I know what you've done with South Park, and I'm not going to let you do that to me. All right? HBO, call me. No, I'm just kidding. All right, guys, that's it. I need to shut up. I'm tired and I want to play Resident Evil 4. Maybe a review coming for that soon. Maybe not. I don't know. If I can learn how to record and edit gameplay, then I'll do it. Marty's not going to play because he's a wimp. He's scaredy cat.
I might give it a try. We'll see.
All right, I'll let you borrow my disc. All right, guys. Nate, good night. We love you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Oh, wait. Hold on. Before we goodbye, we've gotten a lot of views in the last week. Like, a lot for us. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been watching. All of our new subscribers. And let you know that, we are on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on YouTube. And now we're on TikTok. Now, it's all the same name. We also have a Twitter, but I don't use that one too much. Not a big Twitter presence because Twitter's toxic. But thank you to everybody who's been watching. Please subscribe and help us spread our influence into the world and make things the way we like them. Marty, you got anything?
No, just give us suggestions, things you want to hear us talk about.
Oh yeah, please, comments too. Comment. We haven't gotten but 2 comments, I think, maybe 3 total. Guys, drop your comments. We always need help trying to figure out what to do. All right, we're not exactly the brightest bulbs in the chandelier, okay? We need some help. So please let us know what you want us to talk about. Nate, don't tell us. All right, I'm not watching The Matrix, okay?
You should.
I'm not doing it. I don't give in to peer pressure, but I do give in to the pressure of subscribers and comments.
I'll play Resident Evil if you watch The Matrix.
Aha, I tricked you. I already watched The Matrix. I watched it before you got here.
Don't believe you.
I don't know. If you take the red pill, you'll believe me. If you take the blue pill, you'll wake up tomorrow and none of this will have ever happened. All right, guys. I really gotta shut up now. Good night.
Goodbye.
Oh, wait. Yeah, goodbye, not good night. Okay, bye.